Today, I wanted to look back at my Steam library and look at some of the major flops from the past 5 years. Because oh my god, there have been some games that I've just been hyped for. When a studio drops a teaser or trailer, they'll show off something interesting or a mechanic not present in other titles within that same game. You'll wait, sometimes months, sometimes years, and what gets me is sometimes throughout those months, you won't get a lick of information about said game. The devs may share a screenshot or something to keep your attention on their said product, and when the game does come out, it's either shit and dies, or it lives for a couple months then dies. I'm sure we're not strangers to when a game flops, we've seen it time and time again. Alright, first we have Scavengers. Holy hell, this game actually had a decent concept with people like former Halo devs on it. This was a free-to-play extraction shooter, battle royale type hybrid developed by Midwinter Entertainment, where an asteroid crashes into the moon, in turn releases an alien virus and turns the Earth Arctic. You take control of an explorer as one of the last remnants of humanity being overseen by the AI protector, Mother. Scavengers, besides having former Halo devs on the team, looked like it was going to be promising with interesting mechanics and innovation. It even had an open beta that I remember actually being pretty big. Unfortunately, when the game did launch, it was just a buggy mess, and me personally, I remember having a whole lot of bouncing issues, with some explorers just being meta the whole lifespan of the game. This was back in 2021 though, so back when the only extraction shooter was literally Tarkov, and that was in its infancy but already grabbing the niche PvPvE fans' attention at the masses, so the people that did stick with Scavengers was not large at all. A lot of people did not see reason to return to Scavengers as the gameplay loop got drawn out real quick relative to the dramatic player count dip after launch. The game did not have an identity. Scavengers was shut down its servers a year and a half after launch on December 16, 2022, and it's still on the Steam store, still in early access, and that's another issue I low-key have is the early access movement going on where every game is in fucking early access, so I can't be blamed if the game is shit cause early access. Ooh, Spellbreak, bro. I was gonna talk about a different game at first, and then I saw this game. Man, this shit was so fun. So it was a free-to-play battle royale where you play as a battle mage, right? And the way you fight is with elemental magic. So around the map, there would be gauntlets that you could equip. These came in different elements like fire, wind, earth, and lightning. I think the last one was toxic. Each one had like 1 to 2 moves you could perform, and you could equip 2 different gauntlets at the same time to effectively combine the magic of both gauntlets. This did play like a regular BR on a base level. Once people got looted and all of a sudden there are motherfuckers flying through the air, creating fire tornadoes and setting fires to the lands, and fucking freezing the lands. Like, shit gets crazy. I didn't even mention that you could interact with the magic of your opponent as well, as there being counters for each element. It was like an elemental rock, paper, scissors. Spellbreak was such a fire game to start off the 2020s, but would fall a couple years later. Unfortunately, after being acquired by Blizzard and them practically killing the product and absorbing the former dev team into the WoW team. The last game I have for us is more recent and not dead, unfortunately. It's called Torchlight Infinite. This is an ARPG, action role-playing game, so think of things like Diablo or Path of Exile. Torchlight, however, is not as good as Path of Exile or Diablo, as the gameplay was pretty average. The story was meh. I mean, art style, like graphics, they were pretty good, I'll give it that. But the shit was just riddled with gacha. And at the time of me playing, the game was released, shit was like $40, which is low-key wild for a mobile game transitioning to PC. They had to have known they were smoking crack on this one, because when you go to the Steam store, it's free to play now. I found a review that actually resonates with how I feel about the game by someone named Countdown on Steam, and it goes, pure gacha game. Main campaign was about average, not fun, not boring. Only in the later game when you unlock 3 different talent trees, it felt fun around level 50 to 70. I recommend picking up PoE 2, Diablo, Diablo Immortal, Last Epoch, or something similar instead. Way less grindy with better story and better gearing paths and endgame. Gacha games, like Torchlight Infinite, are just layers on top of layers of grinding, currencies and materials for crafting. So it's over 6 rounds, each round boss needs double keys to move into the next round. It's meant to tease you to stop grinding and pay gear upgrades with real money instead, with mini games as a twist like a casino. To move up 1 time mark, also known as endgame, you need to clear all round bosses, 6 times 6 boxes times 8 maps. That's like 300 times on 50 bosses. I saw no difference in fight for each time mark. over 6 rounds with some infinite time mark on top of that. So time mark 1, there's 2 maps to clear to open the round boss. Time mark 2, there's 4 maps to clear to open the round boss. Time mark 3, there's 8 maps to clear to open the round boss, so on and so forth. I hit the same brick wall in Torchlight as I did in Throne and Liberty. Moving up tier sets are 100 times more complicated than Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal has way better storytelling, easy gearing path, with several different tier sets for each class depending on what type of game style you have. That's repetitive. Still repetitive, but more like the normal game, but more like a regular ARPG. You need to clear each hell time mark in Torchlight, but only a few hell bosses. Not every repeat boss spans same maps hundreds of times over and over. In Diablo Immortal, I finished the main story. I was fully kitted out in tier sets for 2 classes for different playstyles. And I honestly agree. Past a certain point, the game loses its appeal and turns into a mindless grind fest with just gacha fucking transactions being slapped in your face, just fucking promo fucking pets and shit. Like, oh my lord. But hey, these are just some shit games I want to share with you all, as my expectations and anticipations have been crushed time and time again. This has been Grief. I'll see you guys later.